A forgotten pirate left behind one final secret. 400 years later, his descendant is about to uncover it. Welcome to the Purely Fiction Society. I'm Knowles, your host, and tonight we uncover a story buried for 4 centuries, beginning in the ruins of Scotland and ending in black waters of the Caribbean. This is the pirate's Jade Jaguar heart. History remembers the heroes, but the ocean remembers the thieves. For centuries, the Ballis family carried a vague legend about an ancestor named Peter Wallis. To the Scottish, he was a regular sailor, but to the Spanish Empire in 1605, he was a devastating pirate. To the country of Belize, he was the historic founder of their very first settlement. Peter left something behind in Scotland before he fled to the Caribbean, and his descendant, Skye Ballis, never truly believed the story until she found herself standing in the bleak rain-soaked ruins of Loch Finlaghan. Following the notes in his final letter, she sought out a crumbling stone wall in the ancient seat of Lords of the Isles. She checked his old journal, located a diagram of a loose brick, and pushed. The stone gave way, sliding backwards into a dark, hollow cavity. Inside lay a wax-sealed leather pouch. Skye broke the brittle, centuries-old seal to find a piece of aged parchment and a crude map dated October 1605. It was Peter Wallis's final confession. He had intercepted a Spanish galleon named La Luna that was carrying a stolen Mayan treasure back to Spain. Wallis didn't just take gold, he took something the Spanish were absolutely terrified of, an artifact called the Jade Jaguar heart. The letter warned that the item carried a curse of total obsession. Wallis wrote that he had left the gold at the shallow quay to rot, but the heart belonged to the deep. He sank the La Luna where the ocean swallows itself, so no man could ever possess it. Looking at the ink drawings of the Belizean coast and the massive black circle drawn in the sea, Skye realized exactly what he meant. He was talking about the Great Blue Hole. 2 days later, Skye crossed the Atlantic. The transition from the cold mist of Scotland to the blinding heat of Belize City was jarring, but the mystery pulled her forward. Before diving into the abyss, she hired a small boat to take her to Peter Wallis's old staging ground at Shallow Quay. If his letter was right, his crew left clues on this tiny mangrove-choked island before their final voyage. The gold was likely looted by Spanish hunters or rival pirates centuries ago, so she wasn't looking for coins. Walking through the palm trees with a handheld metal detector, a loud beep brought her to her knees. Digging through 3 feet of sand and roots, her shovel hit solid stone. She brushed away the debris to reveal a flat carved limestone marker. It featured a Mayan carving of a jaguar with a hollow chest, and beneath it Spanish words were cruelly etched: La Luna Falls, the dark rises. The inscription confirmed that the Spanish hadn't captured Wallis. He had deliberately sacrificed his own ship, anchoring La Luna directly over the underwater sinkhole and pulling it down into the dark to bury the jade heart forever. He left the marker as a final warning to his crew to never go back for it, completely unaware that his descendants would come looking for it 400 years later. Later that afternoon, the tropical sky darkened slightly as clouds rolled in over the Great Blue Hole. Floating directly in the center of the massive midnight blue circle of water, Skye pulled on a heavy black wetsuit, strapped on her scuba tanks, and checked her dive computer. The marine sinkhole drops down over 400 feet into pitch blackness, reaching depths where there is no oxygen and no life. just shadows and ancient stalactites. She backward rolled into the water, and the world instantly shifted to muffled, echoing sounds of her own breathing through the regulator. Descending into the hole felt like falling through open space as the light faded rapidly. At 140 feet, the water turned freezing cold, and the limestone walls loomed like giant frozen monsters. According to the coordinates on Wallace's map, the ship didn't sink to the very bottom. It had caught on a massive limestone ledge near the cave's entrance. Skye swept her powerful underwater flashlight through the gloom, and a massive, unnatural shape appeared. There she was, La Luna, looking just like a ghost frozen in time, balanced delicately on the ledge of a total abyss. She carefully swam inside the decaying wooden frame of the ship's upper deck, mindful that one wrong kick of her fins could stir up silt and blind her instantly. She entered what remained of the captain's quarters, where her flashlight illuminated a rusted, iron-banded chest, half buried in the sand. The wood had completely rotted away, leaving the iron frame open. Inside, the remains of the strongbox, sat a small watertight lead box wrapped in decaying rope. Skye reached out, pulled the box from the debris, and opened the latch. Inside was a palm-sized, perfectly preserved jade artifact, shaped like a beating heart, with a ferocious jaguar face carved into the center. Even in the dark, deep water, the green stone seemed to catch the beam of her light, glowing with an eerie, ancient energy. A sudden deep rumbling groaned and echoed through the water. The wreckage shook violently, and a cloud of sand erupted from beneath the ship. Peter Wallace's warning wasn't a myth. Removing the relic had instantly altered the weight distribution of the fragile wreckage. The massive wooden bow of the La Luna tilted downwards, and the limestone ledge beneath it cracked, sending giant boulders tumbling into the pitch-black abyss below. The ship was sliding into an unbreathable deep bottom of the hole, and it was going to take Skye down with it. She kicked her fins furiously, scrambling backward through the collapsing wooden beams as a heavy timber fell, barely missing her air tanks. She swam upward with everything she had, clutching the jade heart to her chest as the darkness swallowed the La Luna forever. The ship plunged into unreachable depths where no human could follow. Her dive computer flashed a bright red decompression warning, forcing her to slow her ascent, despite the panic. She forced herself to breathe calmly, making her mandatory decompression stops while her air supply ticked dangerously lower. Finally, Skye broke the surface of the water, gasping for air as hands from the dive boat reached down to pull her aboard. She collapsed onto the deck bench, completely exhausted, but alive. Sitting under the bright Belizean sun, she held the Jade Jaguar heart up to the light. The green jade looked stunningly beautiful against the ocean backdrop, and the truth of her ancestors' actions became entirely clear. It wasn't a curse of magic, but a curse of human greed. Men would kill, sail across oceans, and destroy history just to possess something this beautiful. Skye placed the artifact into a secure padded case and closed it. The mystery of Peter Wallace was finally solved. His bloodline had found what he hid, and the secret of the La Luna could finally rest in peace. Thank you for listening to tonight's tale from the Purely Fiction Society. Skye Ballis didn't find a curse in the depth of the blue hole. She found a truth buried for over 400 years. Peter Wallace didn't hide the Jade Jaguar heart to protect its power, but to protect people from what they would become, trying to own it. Would you have taken the artifact from the wreck if you were in her shoes, knowing what it might do, or would you have left it behind in the dark where it was meant to stay? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. If this descent into forgotten history and sunken mystery held you tonight, please hit the like button. And to make sure you never miss our next standalone journey into the unknown, make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on. If you would like to learn more about Peter Wallace and Belize, let me know. I'm thinking about writing a second episode to the story, as I enjoyed making it so much. Until next time, keep believing in the stories. Good night.